Baseball family, this week we're going to talk about Mexico City, the anemic New York Yankees offense, and emoji tears right now. 9 Plus Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together. Welcome back, baseball family. We are super excited that you're here. Brad is home. He's back. He's back.
I am.
He's got his green screen, and
I
that's
landed
how you know he's back.
like an hour ago.
Yeah, I still haven't landed yet, so just let me
go.
know how that goes, okay? I'll keep you updated. Baseball family, we're really excited that you're here with us. We're excited to talk about a bunch of stuff, and especially for our version of Power Rankings, this as April has come to a conclusion, and here we are in May. But first, we have to talk about Mexico City because, as we predicted, it was a launch pad, and it was a blast to watch. So, first of all, in case you weren't paying attention, there were 11 home runs just in game one alone. 11. And Xander Bogaerts has become the first player in Major League Baseball history to homer in 4 different countries. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, but that makes sense. That's fascinating.
Canada, the United States, England, and Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. They drew over 38,000 fans.
That's pretty solid. That's total between the two games?
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't see how big that stadium is, but that's a pretty good draw over the course of 2 days.
For 2 days, people are traveling in, and
yeah.
No, I thought that was good.
There are several big league teams that won't do that in a weekend. So,
yep,
in their home
that
parks.
is exactly right. So we're pretty excited to see. I wonder, Brad, with the success of this Mexico City series, do you think we'll see a major league expansion into Mexico?
That's fascinating, because I haven't been thinking about it lately, but I think that the idea of a team in Mexico has been thrown around in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has kind of been toyed around, and I kind of looked at it as the way like the NFL looks at London, as like, we would love to have a team there someday, but right now logistically it just doesn't really work out. But you've got Tijuana, is pretty darn easy to get to, right? And that's got a Western team. I don't know how hard it is to get to Mexico City. Could you imagine putting a team in Cancun?
Oh, no.
That would be my new team, Brig.
Yeah, it would be my new team.
I got to go to a game.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because of the success of the series, it's got me wondering. We have been stuck in the United States with our mindset about expansion. We know expansion's happening. We know it's coming. And we kept talking about, Vegas and Nashville and the, Charlotte area and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But until this weekend, I don't know why I have had this narrow-minded view I've seen now. And I think there's room to discuss a team in Mexico. And
there's a Mexican professional league. So
exactly.
The fans like it. It would be a completely different experience. That Major League Baseball would have to have some measures in place as far as stadium security goes, because it's kind of the Wild West a little bit. But no, it would be really interesting to see a team in Mexico. I don't know necessarily if logistically it would work out right now. But I mean, they've done a lot with Mexico over the last couple decades, even, because I think it was the Dodgers and the Padres played an exhibition game in Tijuana, I believe. A couple times. There were some exhibition games played in Mexico City. We know that. And I think that last time around in 2017, they hosted some World Baseball Classic games in Mexico City, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember, but that sounds right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But likely, I don't know. But
just interesting.
Sure, a fascinating topic of discussion.
Yeah, I thought it would be. The Astros and the Rockies will face off the next time Major League Baseball plays regular season games in Mexico City. We don't yet know when that will be. It has not yet been announced, but those are the teams that have been selected. As MLB continues its world tour, the next one up is June 24 and 25. That's where the Cubs will play the Cardinals. That's in London. So we're excited about that.
That will be exciting. A couple of
Should be
good
very
teams to
good.
send over there. I like that they send the rivalries over there because
Me too.
it makes sense to do that. Whereas like the NFL does it in such a bad way where it's like, let's send the worst teams over to London just to give them a
Right.
little taste. No.
No,
Like the Cubs and Cards might not be the best teams in the league, but that's a good rivalry. They'll get a taste of it.
I agree.
So,
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot
good.
of fun. All right, let's move on. Jacob deGrom is now on the 15-day injured list. He says he's disappointed. I think in himself, maybe in his body, whatever. I wonder how far that extends, that sort of culpability in his mind to encompass maybe the staff or some of the strength and conditioning people. I don't know. All we know is he says he is disappointed to be on the IL. And can you blame the guy? It's incredible. So he started out as forearm tightness. Now they're saying it's elbow inflammation.
Which I don't think is much better.
I
Because if you have
know.
inflammation, something's going on, something's wrong in there.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Rangers, I would probably be a little bit concerned because he has had Tommy John before, and used
Right.
to. I remember they would talk about Tommy John. It's like once you've had it, you're good. Well, no, guys are having it twice,
Sometimes
thrice
3
potentially.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be a little worried if I'm the Rangers right now with
Yeah,
the
that's how I'd feel
state of
too.
Jacob deGrom.
Yeah. I saw a great TikTok. I think it was on TikTok the other day. Baseball Family were on TikTok as well. It might have been on Instagram. That's where we are too. But I saw another content creator talk about it was this morning. He was talking about Jacob deGrom's last 3 seasons combined and the 32 starts that Jacob deGrom has put up in the last 3 seasons. And if you combine those stats and you put it all into one season, if without injuries, if that were possible, he would be far and away the greatest pitcher of the last like 4 generations.
Yeah. And that's what we say, right? When he's healthy, he's the best pitcher we've seen.
For sure.
But that's the issue, is that he's rarely healthy, that he missed half of last season, and we don't know
Yeah.
how much time he's going to miss now. He's on the 15-day IL, but that could extend 30, 45 days because it's not the 60-day IL. And if
Right.
it's significant, they could move him to the 60-day IL. So,
Yep.
like, I don't know. It's worrisome. I really would be worried.
It is. Speaking of the Rangers, I have 2 segues here. The first is not on the lineup. Brad, I want to know, now that we've seen the Rangers City Connect uniforms on the field, do you have a different opinion, or is it maintained? Or
I think they do look better. Like, I feel like so there's a couple things. First, I was watching the Rockies and Diamondbacks this weekend.
Yeah.
And the Rockies went back to the green pants with their City Connect, and it
Oh,
still doesn't look good. Still
right.
does not look good. However, I would say that the Rangers turns out those are like navy blue pants with the white jerseys. I couldn't tell
Thought
if
they
they're
were
black or
black.
navy. I thought they were too, but they looked navy on the screen the other day.
Interesting.
But it looked good. The contrast was really sharp. I liked
Yeah.
it a lot. I still am not crazy about the mix of the fonts, but I understand where they're coming from with that. Couldn't really see the Peagle much. So that is what it
Thank
is, right?
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. But but overall, like I thought they looked pretty good on the field. So I'm okay with it.
So my sort of in between ambiguous opinion before I saw him on the field shifted entirely to those are rocket fire. Like I
Yeah.
am sold, loving
Yeah.
it entirely, with the one caveat that the Peagle sucks. But other than that, they are awesome, and the contrasted pants somehow worked wonders. I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. It's amazing that those colored pants look so much better on the field than they do in a picture because like I feel like a lot of times that those colored pants look like a travel ball team.
Yeah,
That because that's such like a let's be as loud and colorful and flamboyant as we can because that's the one we get to express ourselves in the field, and I'm fine with it. Like if you're a
yeah,
11 12-year-old kid who wants to make the loudest uniform you can find, go for it. But
agreed.
there's something to be said for I don't want to say professionalism, but the top level of baseball, right? And maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to bring a little bit more of that like youth baseball feel to baseball. to kind of help appeal to that. I don't know, but
they
do look a lot better on the field if there's contrast. The all green does not look good still, though.
No, that's bad.
Not here.
I agree. Let's stay in Arlington for a minute because the Texas Rangers annihilated the New York Yankees over the weekend. Like, it was so bad. The Texas Rangers outscored the Yankees 24-8 over 4 games. 24-8, owing some of that to a 15-run game. The Yankees gave up 15 runs on Sunday.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
As a Yankees fan, I am disgusted.
You should be, honestly.
I could not be more upset. I am having a really hard time keeping it in. And when I decide not to keep it in, I don't know how I'm going to contain it. It's going to be
go for it, Brig. Just go for it.
Explode everywhere. No, I can't. I don't have my sunglasses with me, and I'm not wearing black, although I should be. Maybe I'll get in character if it happens again next week. I'll do that same thing. But here's how the scores went in Arlington over the weekend. The Yankees, they won one on Friday 5-2. They dropped Thursday. Thursday they won 4-2. Yeah, you were right. Friday the Rangers won 5-2. Saturday the Rangers won 2-0, and Sunday the Rangers won 15-2. Nestor Cortez took the bump on Sunday and had the worst outing he's had as a Yankee so far. Across 4 and 2/3 innings, Nasty Nestor allowed 7 runs and 4 walks in 4 and 2/3 innings.
So you look at that, and it's the one that I always look at with pitchers is, okay, you gave up X number of runs. How many hits did you give up? He only gave up 5 hits on those 7 runs. And that's when I'm like, you did this to yourself. Whoop, hit my mic.
Oh, yeah.
This is on you. This is not a FIP thing, right? Fielding, independent pitching, whatever. Like it's none of that. This is the pitcher making mistakes, not having control, right? Not being able to get outs and everything like that. Like 5 or 7 runs on 5 hits, that is a bad deal for that pitcher.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
Whereas like yesterday, Marco Gonzalez gave up 8 runs. I think only 5 were earned. There are a couple errors, right? And errors happen, right? It's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
But I don't think he walked very many guys. It's just like the Blue Jays were just hitting him. And that happens sometimes because Marco Gonzalez, if he's not pinpoint accurate, he's going to serve some up. It's the way it goes. Yeah, such is life. Sure. That's baseball, right? But, man, That was a rough outing for Nestor on Sunday.
Yeah, it's bad. For those of you wondering, Aaron Judge continues to remain in the day-to-day category. He's not quite on the injured list, but he is dealing still with that upper hip strain. He did.
What was that? He went into third, something like that?
Yeah, he went into third. He had an awkward slide. We thought he was going to break his wrist, is what it looked like, honestly, or jammed it.
Could have been way worse then.
But luckily that wasn't it. But he did get up and was holding his wrist. That was before they went to Texas. But anyway, he's still out. They're still trying to evaluate things. Today is Monday. They're going to be looking at another MRI today and reevaluating everything. I would be shocked if he doesn't end up on the 10-day. Like, I honestly, and if it's worse than that, I wouldn't be shocked either. So we'll see. But
so do you think? Do you think if Judge ends up like, if they're like, this is really bad, and he ends up on like the 15-day, but they're like, he's going to be out for an extended period of time? What kind of move do the Yankees make to make up for that?
Okay. All right. Listen,
because that's tough. The problem, because you've got Stanton who's hurt.
He's out
forever too.
I was just gonna say that,
right?
Yeah. Right. And
you don't all of the moves anymore.
All of the moves you thought they would have done to backfill against Stanton's injury, are they even available anymore? You've called up all these young guys. They're not performing the way Stanton and Judge would have in combination. We're putting all of our hopes and dreams into Anthony Volpe and Peraza, which are great, but we've also started kicking outfielders out, right? I think Franchi Cordero I don't know whether he was optioned to AAA or if he was outright DFA'd. I can't remember now, but it's a publisher's clearinghouse going on in the outfield at New York right now, and it should be, because what they've got isn't working, and they need to scramble to build an effective lineup and with holes in the outfield. I don't know what they're going to do. You cannot do it with the young guys that they've got up, and I'm not saying you can't in theory. I'm saying it's not working. So I'm getting really upset at Brian Cashman again, because he has failed to put together a lineup that is resilient enough to maintain any sort of momentum in the face of injury, which is going to happen with Stanton and Judge. And I could not be more upset. If we want to put our eggs in the basket with Volpe, that's fine. He's a terrific defender. He's going to get hot offensively. It's going to happen. Just let the kid mature. Everybody else needs to start pulling their weight, or we need to get him out of there. Okay. All right.
There you go. There's the answer.
It's his fault. It's Cashman's fault. It's all on him.
Cashman's fault. It is Cashman's fault.
Okay.
Big time. Let's talk about Mad Bum.
Thank you. Let's talk about Mad Bum. Mad Bum. I'm sorry we haven't talked about Mad Bum yet. Dude got DFA'd.
I think we did at first. Like, I think we talked about how they DFA'd him. They designated him for assignment. But there's been an update since then, though. He cleared waivers, and then they just, like, rather than sending him down to, like, AAA, they released him.
Yeah, they just
let him. He's no longer in the Diamondbacks organization.
Exactly.
Which is, I don't want to say funny. It's not funny, haha. But no, it's funny. Like, I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago, and he's kind of a casual Diamondbacks fan. I was like, the Diamondbacks could be pretty good this year. I was like, they could finish around 500 and kind of be a pest to a lot of teams in the league. He's like, yeah, we got Madison Bumgarner. I was like, no, he's washed. Yeah. It's like, I would be surprised if he's not around much longer. And then it was like a week later was when they DFA'd him. I was like, There it is. And so,
there we go.
And this is one of my questions for you, Brig, that I've been trying to figure out. I don't know why. And I don't know if it's just because I live down here in Phoenix or what, but like, should he go try to come out of the bullpen for a contender? Should he just go try to play somewhere? He's getting paid whether he plays or not. Or should he just go right off into the sunset and go do more rodeo?
Literally right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How old is he?
I'll look that up.
Okay.
Because
while
that's
you're
a
looking,
great question. I don't know.
I think that's relevant to the conversation. I think he's 39 or 40.
He is 33 years old.
He's 33
He just
years
looks
old.
38, 39, 40 years old. He's probably aged a lot doing all that rodeo.
Okay, he's a
big dude too, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, he's a big dude. But, all right. Okay, since he's only 33, I can see him being a bullpen piece, maybe a middle relief guy, not necessarily a high leverage situation right now, but I want to see. It'd be interesting to see what he could do to support a contender team and have just that already has a terrific bullpen, because he needs to be surrounded by a great staff and a great lineup that can kind of pad and defend him right now while he's slumping, has the yips or whatever it is going on. I think that if he wants to continue playing baseball, he needs to do it for a team that can cover for him a little bit. The Yankees have an amazing bullpen, and I think that could be an interesting landing spot. They don't necessarily need him. It would help if he pull his weight, but it's not going to happen. I don't know. I could see him just quitting and doing rodeos too, but at that age, he's not going to bag it. He's going to step up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's really an interesting thing, because I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's just like, I'm done. I've made my money. I'm just gonna go live my life, whatever. But I think if he does go somewhere, it needs to be somewhere, like you said, it's a really soft landing spot for him, where he has kind of a cushy bullpen role.
Yeah.
A team that has a really good offense, so he can come in 4 or 5 run lead, right?
Right.
Or
they're not high leverage
where they're being blown out, and so he can eat some innings for a team. So they don't have to burn up their bullpen. Like that's the role I see him filling right now, rather than coming in and being like a setup man, closer even, or definitely not a starter. I wouldn't bring him as a starter. Certainly not. So
I wouldn't put him in as a closer either, unless you're up 15-2 against the Yankees.
Yeah. Got a nice big cushion. But then even you put in, did they put in a position player in that game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Long turned off by then.
No, I didn't turn it off. I just wasn't watching.
Anyway.
Robbie Ray has decided he's not going to play baseball anymore either.
Well, I don't think he made the decision.
I know. Robbie Ray's out for the year because he has a forearm flexor tendon tear.
Issue.
Yeah, it's probably a tear. Otherwise, you wouldn't be out for the whole year.
He was supposed to come back the middle of May was the thing. Yeah. So he made his first start, and he was all right. Wasn't bad. But then afterwards, they're like, oh, he has a flexor issue in his forearm. We're like, okay. And they're like, he'll be back in the middle of May. And I was kind of like, I hope so, because if not, there are some other issues there that need to be resolved. Yeah. And they have reared their ugly heads. And this is one thing. So as you were talking about the Yankees, I was actually thinking about this part right here with Robbie Ray. So first off, I am no longer confident in my Mariners World Series pick at this moment. At this moment, right now, I am not.
I agree.
And this is one of the things is because the Mariners have two great starters down in AA right now who are ready to come up, and they have not called either of them up. They've been filling in that spot because Chris Flexen came in and was pitching in Robbie Ray's spot for a while, but Chris Flexen has been absolutely horrendous. Like, so bad as a starter, gave up 15 runs in 2 starts, blew away like a 7-run lead like it was nobody's, like nothing was even going on. It's like, so Flexen has not been good. So the Mariners have kind of filled in with a couple of guys. But this is one of the things that I was thinking about, is that it's driving me crazy that the Mariners have not called up either of these stud pitchers yet. But I'm thinking now that, like I said, I was thinking about this while you were talking. I was still listening. Don't worry. That the bats have been asleep for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're like, why would we waste these guys on a year where we can't produce any offense? Yesterday, they came back. They were down 8-4. They came back and won the game against the Blue Jays, won 10-8 in extras. So I'm thinking that Jerry DiPoto's thought process is probably offense. Prove me now herewith that you can produce runs for these guys, for these young pitchers. If you can't, we're not going to bring them up and waste them. But prove to me that you can score some runs. We'll bring them up for you, and we'll give you a shot every single game these guys come out. But until then, we're just going to kind of drag and drop and fill in these places as we can, because the offense has not given us any reason to waste young pitchers. So I don't know. We'll see. If the Mariners have a good May, pretty weak schedule in May, then we could see Emerson Hancock come up, and we've been waiting for him. So I don't know. But he should be coming up and filling Robbie Ray's role, but it hasn't happened yet. It's really fascinating. Really interesting to watch.
Fascinating, Brad.
Quite. Indeed.
Speaking of the Mariners, Brad, could we talk about their City Connect jerseys?
Let's do it. Oh, yes. Man, Brig.
I want you to just run with this. This is your baby.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. First off, I was nervous. I was really nervous about what they're going to come up with, because I'd seen some concept stuff, and of course, concept stuff that like fans put together is always put online is leaked, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I hope not, because that doesn't look good. You know? And then finally the jersey was leaked last week, but we didn't see a hat until this all dropped on Friday. And then my other thought with this is like, so first off, I love this. I was not so hot on the black pants to begin with, but they've really grown on me, and I like it. I think it's going to look really good on the field. I do love royal blue with black. I think it looks really sharp, looks really great. So my only thing with it, though, is that, like, Seattle needs to let go of the Pilots. They were around for 1 year. The Mariners are not the second iteration of the Pilots. They have nothing to do with that organization. The Pilots are the Brewers. Let it go. I'm sorry. It's not your team. They're not your team anymore. The Pilots are in Milwaukee. That is my only thing. I would have liked to see more Steelhead stuff. However, that being said, the black pants do come from, that is a direct tribute to the Steelheads, the black pants and the black bill on the hat, which is absolutely amazing. I love it. the hat is outstanding with that blue crown, and the yellow trident with the black bill looks great. Let's look at the jersey itself, Brig. So I have it here on Instagram. I'm just gonna read this to you real quick. So the jersey font. So it says Seattle stitched across the chest of the rush blue. That's what they're calling this blue. They're calling it rush blue. The lettering style is evocative of the Seattle Pilots. Like I said, you can see that pretty clearly too. Like that definitely looks like a Seattle Pilots jersey. But they have one little detail on here is you can see a drop shadow on Seattle there and on the numbers and everything. It's not on the names, but it's definitely on the numbers. It says, is a similar drop shadow used in the 1955 Pacific Coast League champion Rainiers. A nice little tip of the cap, very subtle to the Rainiers. And then they have piping down the sides of the legs. It says that's a fresh take on the piping used by the Pilots and the Mariners. It's yellow with like a blue stripe down the middle. And then you can see here in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, there's that it says PNW. For those of you who don't know, that stands for Pacific Northwest. And there's a mountain on there. Initially, I thought that was Mount St. Helens. I was like, interesting they didn't include Mount Rainier, but Mount St. Helens is my mountain. So I was like, cool, I like it.
Sad.
Because it's Mount Rainier. I thought it was too flat to be Mount Rainier. But that's just the Northwest kid in me looking at it. So it's Mount Rainier, apparently. The other thing you'll see up in the top right-hand corner, you've got Soto Mojo. So Soto is the neighborhood that the Mariners play in. That's where T-Mobile Park is, and that is short for South of the Dome. And so Mojo, obviously magic. So Soto Mojo is what they were calling everything in 2001 when the Mariners won 116 games. It's like more of that Soto Mojo. So that is a big call to that. And it has crossed tridents. There's a lot more to those crossed tridents than just the fact that they're tridents. So it says the two gold tridents point skyward, forming W's. The first W represents the state of Washington. It's the first W that's ever been used with the Mariners to represent the state of Washington. And the other is for wins, which I think is funny because haven't been that many in the history of the franchise. But apparently, I didn't know this. They light up a W on the T-Mobile Park roof after every win. I had no idea.
I saw that. I didn't know that either.
No clue. And then down by the jock tag, you can see that on the same part of the picture over there, is My Oh My, and that's Dave Niehouse's signature call, because you can't have anything Mariners without having My Oh My, because it's so ingrained into the culture of the Seattle Mariners. Yeah. I assumed there would either be My Oh My or something to do with a Grand Salami.
Right.
One of those two. I figured there would be a Dave Niehaus nod in there somewhere, and that's the one right there. But those stirrups are sick. The blue with the yellow candy stripes and the trident on the side. I love that so much. Like I said, the black pants looks good against the blue. I think it looks really sharp. I like the throwback color. I like that it feels a little bit darker than the old Mariners blue, which is what I've been saying is like just get that old blue and get a little bit darker. It'll look really good with that yellow. I think it looks sharp. I think the colors pop. It looks awesome. What do you think of it, Brig?
Like you, I was not sure when I saw the black pants. Unlike you, I need to see it on the field before I will decide all the way, because right now I am not sold on the black pants.
I sat and looked at this picture a lot. I was at my nephew was doing a musical at his school Friday morning, like when this dropped. I just sat looking at this picture like, those black pants, and they grew on me. They really did.
Yeah. I think they'll grow on me too when I see them on the field. The socks are amazing. The jersey, that darker royal, is fabulous. That you're right. That needed to be darkened up. I think that the break between the royal blue and the black pants, breaking it up with the bright yellow belt is helping for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really hate the visor being black.
Oh, see, I love it. I know it because I have a hat that's reversed. It's a black crown with a blue visor, and it has a blue trident on it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I think it's great. I'm really happy for you. I'm not sold on mixing blue and black. I want to see it on the field. Hopefully I'm converted. but that yellow they've chosen and the intensity of it with some of the shading is fantastic. So all in all, I'd give it like a 3. No. No, it's a solid 6 to 7 for me. I just got to see it on the field. That's all.
And see, like I would give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
If they just went with, and I think that they can wear this with white pants and it'll look really, really good.
Oh, dude.
And I think
white
at some
pants
point they probably will wear it with white
would be
pants.
amazing.
Yeah, I think if they gave it the white pants, I think it would be a 10, honestly. But like I said,
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was nervous that they were going to go too deep with the pilots. And they weren't going to do anything with the steelheads. And it was just going to be like all like that same font that's across Seattle. And I saw concept art on like Wednesday, and they had that jersey because it had been leaked, but somebody had like it was like the S, but it's in the same font as the pilot's P with like little things coming off the side. It was like a minimalistic compass rose, and I was like, that looks awful. That looks absolutely terrible. I was like, that better not be the hat because it looked so bad.
Yeah.
But this hat that they have is awesome.
The Trident is fabulous.
I'm gonna get one as soon as it's on Fanatics.
It's on there now, isn't it?
It hasn't been all weekend.
It's on New Era Cap right now.
It is, and it's also on MLB Shop, but it's not on Fanatics.
Okay.
So
yeah. Tell them about Fanatics. Tell the baseball family why we are waiting for Fanatics.
So you can shop on Fanatics while supporting the show. We are an affiliate partner with Fanatics, so you can head over there and get your gear for the season. I have my D-back shirt, got that off Fanatics. Brig, you got your hat and stuff at the stadium, but you can get those over at Fanatics, I believe, as well. So head over there, get yourself something nice for the stadium or for the season to wear at the stadium, and you can support the show as well because we get a little bit of that pie without any extra cost to you. With that, baseball family, we will take a quick break, and we come back. We will share our emoji tears. Welcome back, baseball family. So it is the beginning of the month, which means that it's the end of the previous month, which means we're going to go through our emoji tiers. For those of you new to the show, this is our version of power rankings. Instead of going through 1 through 30, we just put them into tiers. We have our top 3 and our bottom 3. Top 3 is the diamond tier. The bottom 3, that is our poop tier. I feel like those are pretty self-explanatory. And then in between, we have 8 in each tier. We have our heart. Those are the teams we love. We have our question mark tier is the middle because we're not too sure about those teams. And then below that, in between the question mark and the poop, we have thumbs down, which also I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. So let's get into it. Here we go. Emoji tiers. I'm going to start us off, it looks like. So my diamond tier, I have the Rays, the Braves, and the Orioles. I'm going to justify the Orioles a little bit here. So
you're going to need to.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the thing is like, I don't know. It's tough because honestly, I considered putting the Pirates here just so they could be there for a month.
Yeah.
Because they had an outstanding April, absolutely unreal April.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this based on how they performed in April, not necessarily how they're going to go forward. I feel like the Orioles probably won't be one of the top 3 teams in the league come May 31st. But right now, I feel like they are. They're beating teams they're supposed to. They're playing really, really well together. They're running on everybody, right? Like we talked about, they continue to run.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to come down to. That's what's really going to get them to have sustained success is the ability to steal bases and get into scoring position without putting the ball in play. And I think that's going to be a big difference maker between them and the rest of the top competition in the league. So Rays, Braves, and Orioles.
Nice.
Who do you have, Brig?
So I'm going to put the Rays and Braves. I think that's totally self-explanatory. But I'm going to put the Brewers as my number 3 in the diamond. Because Christian Yelich is starting to move down a little bit, but he's getting backed up. So I don't know. I feel like it's okay. Especially their pitching. Their pitching is fabulous up in Milwaukee. And I want
that's like their calling card, right? Their pitching.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that having one guy like Christian Yelich kind of trend into this, I wouldn't say it's a full-blown skid, I mean, he's slugging at 340, which is not great. His batting average is at 223, which is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. The problem is he's striking out like 30% of the time.
That's bad.
That's the real problem with Christian Yelich. But everybody else is doing fine. And now that I'm talking myself through this, maybe I should not have included the Brewers in the diamond here. I probably should have included the Pirates because they deserve to be here after the April that they had. They really did.
Yeah, they had an amazing April. They
yeah.
Really did.
Now I feel dumb. That's okay.
I don't think the Brewers are a bad pick.
They're not.
Honestly, that pitching is really, really good. Top to bottom, they have outstanding pitching, and
they do.
Mostly going to carry them.
I think that's my justification, but
okay,
I don't know.
We'll see how it goes at the end of the month. All right, let's go. Are you ready to go to the heart tier?
I'm ready to move on past my floundering mistakes here.
All right, my heart tier. I have the Rangers, Twins, Pirates, Blue Jays, Astros, Diamondbacks, Mets, Brewers. This is where I put the Brewers. It hurts me to put the Rangers here, honestly. But like I said, I don't feel like I could have justified putting the Orioles in the diamond and not putting the Rangers in the heart because I don't feel like the Rangers will be here at the end of the month. We do this after May. I don't think the Rangers will be here. I don't think it's sustainable. And a lot of that is because I've seen what happens to their pitching, and bats cool off.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big thing. The Astros, if we had done this a week ago, the Astros wouldn't have been here probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, certainly not a week and a half ago, they wouldn't have been here. But they were borderline. They were really borderline because they're a little bit of a question mark.
Yeah.
Right. So
I totally agree.
Fits in there, pretty self-explanatory. The Pirates are borderline at the top, though. They had such a great April. I'm still shocked. But I think we did talk about, though, like with all that talent, it's weird that they're bad, right? Didn't we say that before the season started?
We've said that a million times. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should have seen this coming with the Pirates.
Well, but if one guy changes, Andrew McCutchen's the only thing that's different, and suddenly they're great. I don't know. I don't think we can say we should have seen it coming. I don't think that gives anybody credit.
Brig, a rudderless ship set adrift sets course with a rudder. Just saying.
Wow. Spoken like a true pirate. Way to go, Blackjack Brad. Fantastic.
All right, go with your heart tier.
My heart tier looks a little bit like yours, but actually diverts in some really interesting places. I put the Orioles here. So this represents my power rankings 4 through 11, right? That's how we do this. And the Orioles are number 4 for me, and the Pirates are number 5. Just based on how April went. So if you're wanting me to be more specific, there you go. You can have it. The Astros are number 11. The Phillies are number 10 in that list. So, but that's how I roll. I think that the Padres sort of got a bump being in Mexico. I don't hate putting them here in the heart category, but the Giants haven't been fabulous. So beating the pants off the Giants is not a big deal, even though it was in Mexico, like whatever. As far as their power rankings and season standings and stuff like that are concerned. I wasn't like overly swayed by Mexico, but I think the Padres, just like you said about Pittsburgh, they have enough talent that they should not be having problems. Right. And that's where it goes. I also put the Rangers here. Same reason you put the Rangers here. If you can take the Yankees and just wallop on them like they did, I think that deserves, some props. And then Nate Eovaldi just really was impressive. Oh my God. That dude, he just was dominant. And that was great. That was great to see. Not as a Yankees fan, but as a baseball fan. And I've been pimping the Rangers the whole time. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Rangers deserve their spot here. The Dodgers, for me, are the biggest ones to have slid. And I think I don't know, but I would be surprised if they didn't slide further. I could have put them in the question mark category and been totally justified.
Hey, well, guess what? I did. I put them in the question mark because thanks for serving that one up.
You're welcome.
So I have the Dodgers, Cubs, Angels, Padres, Red Sox, Yankees, Marlins, Phillies. I put the Dodgers here just because, again, too much talent to be playing the way that they are. And I think they should have torn it down after last season, because I think this group has hit their ceiling. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna get back to the World Series this year. I don't care if they rip off a 40-game winning streak. They're not getting back to the World Series this year. No chance. It's not happening. The Cubs are oddly good.
Yeah, but in the lukewarm way, it's so odd.
Right. I know. It is odd. Yeah. The Cubs are so weird like that. They've been this way the last couple of years, that it's like they'll go out and they'll rip a team to shreds 17-2, but then they'll let the exact same team beat them the exact same way the next day.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know which Cubs team is showing up to the park from day to day. And that's like the definition of the question mark tier, right?
Right, exactly.
And so the Padres, I didn't let Mexico City sway me at all. That, they have the talent. They should be in the heart tier, but because they're not performing that way, I couldn't put them there until they prove to me that they're going to win on a consistent basis. The Phillies are starting to win, but I still worry about the bullpen.
Yeah, right.
So there's that issue, and I think that will just always be attached to the Phillies, like it's always attached to the Angels.
Yeah,
it's just the way it goes with some teams. And the Red Sox, I know, are winning right now, but for how long? Who knows?
Woof. Yeah.
So, does it pain you to see the Red Sox and Yankees right next to each other like that? I mean, you're the one who
did that
put
on
these
purpose.
together. Did
you?
I
did it on. Yeah. That's how mad I am, Brad. Which serves up a perfect alley-oop into my question mark, because the question mark category ranks are number 12 through number 19 power rankings, and I put the Yankees at number 19 right now. Okay, so for you actuaries at home that want me to be super specific, there you go. I am so confused. I'm really angry, and I am going to spank them, on this platform, because that's the only one I have. And I'm going to let them know how disappointed I am. So they belong number 19 at the bottom of the question mark category. The D-backs are astonishing me. I'm confused by the Mets. The Twins. Who is Joey Gallo right now? I do not understand.
Vintage Joey Gallo.
It's so crazy, and therefore the entire team belongs in the question mark category. I have no idea how to explain what they're doing. I don't know how to justify the really ambivalent feelings I'm having. It's very strange. But it must be the beard with Joey Gallo or something.
It gives him powers. There's real power in the beard, Brig.
I think so. The Mariners, to me, this is right where they belong. I totally agree with you. It's looking really shaky on your 2023 prediction that I totally drank the Kool-Aid on. So
a lot of
we're
people
both going to look bad.
I was shocked how many people were.
Yeah, and that's fine. Everything you said about the Cubs and Cleveland's baseball team, Tito's carrying them. They have a great team. They could be doing more with it. It's the Central. I don't know why they're not. It's interesting. But with the Twins doing what they're doing, it's just fascinating. So,
all
right.
My thumbs down. So I've got the Giants, Reds, Rockies, Mariners, Cardinals, Cleveland's baseball team, the Tigers, and the Nationals. So I'm going to tell you why I have the Mariners here. It's not just the fact that they have not looked great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Currently sitting at 12-16.
Yeah.
Had some really ugly losses. And I still maintain errors are fixable. Mm-hmm. I've seen it with a team before. I saw it with the team I worked with, the minor league team, that they went on a stretch of like 8 games where they committed at least 2 errors a game. But then they went on and they won the championship because they fixed the error issue. So errors are fixable. Bats can heat up. But the problem is there is a gaping hole in the starting rotation where Robbie Ray was that they have not fixed yet and seem to be refusing to fix. And there's a black hole in the lineup at the DH spot, the spot that shouldn't be a black hole. You're platooning at the DH spot. What are you doing?
Yeah.
blows my mind. So until they get those two things figured out, I am not high on the Mariners right now, and I'm very upset, very angry with what's going on because there are opportunities to. There's a pitcher in Japan who could come over tomorrow and fill that hole in the starting rotation, and I think should. By the by, those are just my 2 cents on that. And then you've got guys on the roster. You can figure out that DH spot rather than platooning Tommy La Stella and AJ Pollock.
Wow.
It's really frustrating. It's dumb. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, Cleveland should be better than they are. I think they should be sitting on top of the Central and should be there the entire season. But the problem is they have the same problem the Mariners had several years ago, is that your defense can't score runs for you.
Right.
You know, like they've got great defense, they've got great pitching, but that offense is borderline anemic, and you're not going to win a lot of games doing that until they get that offense moving. They're gonna lose a lot of games. So that's why I have Cleveland there.
Did you know Cleveland? Hold on. Cleveland already has 5 players with at least 5 stolen bases. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but
that's why I put them in the question mark category, because they've got what it takes. They just haven't been able to put it together, and they're sitting 13 and 15 right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It is weird that they're not better because they should be, but at the same time, though, like they barely won their division last year.
Yeah.
What's going to happen this year? I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's talk about the Red Sox.
Okay.
The Red Sox are in my thumbs down category, but they're at the top of that. So I liked that you put them up in your question marks. It makes a lot of sense. They're currently sitting 15 and 14. And part of the reason that I put them on the bubble like this with my thumbs down is that they're going to face the Blue Jays, Phillies, and Braves coming up. And I really do think that we're going to figure out who they are, and I don't think they're going to hang in there with these teams. I just don't. So I'm putting my money on thumbs down with the Red Sox, which makes me warm and fuzzy a little bit inside as a Yankees fan. But as a baseball fan, it's too bad to watch a franchise like this have to go through a rebuild, which they're not actually doing. That's the hard part. I think did they send Tristan Cassis down, or has he just been sitting the bench a lot? I don't know. I saw a headline the other day, but it's not looking great. The Reds, the only reason the Reds and the Royals and the Angels and the Giants and the Nationals, Tigers, and Cardinals are in this category, so everybody but the Red Sox is only in this category because I limited my poop tier to 3 teams. But I'm that upset.
You would put the rest of those teams, you would put the Angels in the poop tier? Despite hovering at 500?
Maybe not the Angels, but everybody else, yeah. I definitely would.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I am so upset with the Cardinals. Like, I'm not even a Cardinals fan. I'm a huge fan of their ballpark, though. So if that's
right,
for what it's worth. And I'm a huge fan of their potential and their organization as a whole being consistent. This year is the absence of that consistency. It's the absence of, and I know that the transition of veteran leadership is going to leave a vacuum. I understand that those things happen and that you're going to have turnover and whatever. But my goodness, not this bad. Not for a team who's a perennial contender. It just feels odd, and it's heartbreaking. I that sounds melodramatic, but that's how I feel. It's just so disappointing. I mean, they're sitting at 10 and 19 as we stand right now. This is really bad. So I think this is the worst March and April they've had in franchise history.
But it makes sense. Yeah, a team that's been that consistent for that long, yeah, for sure.
So I don't know.
I actually put the Cardinals in my poop tier. No, I didn't. I thought I did. I considered it, but I didn't.
You probably did consider it.
I seriously considered it. Instead, I have the A's, White Sox, and Royals.
Yeah.
The A's are historically bad. They're just, the front office is not even trying. They talk about tanking. Like, I've talked about tanking in other sports before, and people are just on Twitter and stuff. People are like, "Well, the players have their pride. They're not going to go out there and try to lose." Like, no, the players are going to go out there and try to win the best they can. But if you have minor leaguers playing in the big leagues who shouldn't be there, that is called organizational or front office tanking, and that's what is going on in Oakland right now.
Yeah,
because they don't care. The White Sox are weird. I don't know. Like Luis Robert not running out a play that he should have beat out.
yeah.
That seems like there is somewhat of a mutiny going on. That's what that looks like to me. I don't know
Yep.
if it's necessarily the
That was
case,
so bad.
but that could be the beginnings of a mutiny. And then the Royals are just the Royals. Like, I don't know. They should be better, but they're just not. Like, and by better I mean like not in the poop tier, but they're not. They're a bad team.
The Royals franchise loss over the span of any month in their entire history is 21 games lost. Any month on every in any year ever, and they've already done that. It's a record. 21 losses in a month. They set the record this year. Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, it's insane.
All right, Brig, tell us about your poop.
All right. So I agree with everything you said about the A's. I don't have any idea how to justify 6 wins and 23 losses. I have no idea. And the problem is they're going to continue doing this. This is not it's not trending this way. It's not there's no anemic offense. There's no weird bullpen issue. There's no string of injuries to blame it on. There's no other justifiable. I don't know. It makes no sense. Aside from the freaking dumpster fire that's happening in the front office and whatever else. But the White Sox, boy, when I saw that guy loaf into first base, I was like, oh man. Here we go. I thought exactly the same thing you did. Like, I don't know what's the manager's name? I don't remember. It's
his first year as the manager there, though, because
it's gonna be his last year as the manager there.
It might be his last month as the manager there.
It might
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it could be. They're sitting 8-21.
Pedro Griffel.
Griffel, that's his name. Griffal. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They broke a 10-game losing streak, and the only way they could do it was with this wild comeback
in the 9th inning against the Rays.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know, but they did it against the Rays, right?
Yeah, they did.
Which means that they can play baseball.
Maybe. Brig, a broken clock is right twice a day. Let's be real.
I know. They're still capable of playing baseball. Well,
they should be. They have plenty of talent on that team.
Tons.
Yeah, I don't know. They're baffling. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway. Before we get out of here, though, we forgot to do our fantasy update. Do you mind if I do that real quick?
Oh, you should. It's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So this is week 4, matchup 4. Let's start from the bottom this week. We have Devastation Incorporated. That is Mike, our listener participant, and Harrisburg Charlies. That is John. Mike won 535 to 339. His top performer was Christian Vasquez, and John's was K-Bear Ruiz, not to be confused with his cousin K-Bert Ruiz.
Or Kybert.
Kybert. That's what Kybert Ruiz.
Not Kybert. K-Bear.
So Big League Chupacabras is Jewel against another fantasy team. That is Jason. They were both 3-1 going in. Oh, never mind. They weren't anyway. Jason won that one 551 to 438. Jewel is no longer the lone undefeated. Everybody has lost at least once. Jason's top performer was Nathaniel Lowe, and Jules was Yandy Diaz. They had 84 and 64 points respectively. And then you've got Burns Turner Overdrive. That's Tori against Brig. Brigger Mortis. Brig won 401 to 365. Brig, do you know who your top performer was?
No. Wilson
Ryan Mountcastle.
Mountcastle. That makes sense.
55 points. And then Torrey's top performer was Salvi Perez with 56 points.
It was a tight squeeze there until I brought in some pitching yesterday. That's what did it.
Yeah. So I have yet to win. 0-4 after this week. I lost to Denise. Denise is Grace Under Fire. I am Julio Think You Are. 458 to 389. I was on vacation this week, though. That's my excuse, is that I didn't make any changes since like Wednesday. So that's my excuse. I'm not going to say it's an excuse. It's a reason, Brig. But anyway, my top performer was JT Realmuto with 68 points. Then her top performer was Sean Murphy with 50.
Sean Murphy scored 27 points today. Game's still not even over. I know that because I'm going up against Denise right now, and I'm already losing 33-11 because Sean Murphy has scored 27 points by 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday.
It's so crazy. Oh, no, they're playing a doubleheader today. That's how.
I don't care. He's already hit 2 home runs.
Sean Murphy is throwing his name in the hat as best catcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, he is.
And A's fans
really
are like rightful to be upset about the A's just giving him away, basically, because
they did. Yeah,
absolutely absurd. He is absolutely unreal. I'm curious what else he's done today to get 27 points. So I have a couple of hits, a couple home runs, obviously runs scored, 6 RBIs, 11 putouts, but those are strikeouts.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, good day.
That's a great thing about having a quality catcher behind good pitching is that the catcher will get
Brig. That's only the first game of the day. He's got another game to play this afternoon.
Hopefully they bench him.
I don't think he'll catch that second game.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. They could
honestly,
DH him though.
I was gonna say I'd DH him though with the way he hit in game 1. I don't think they will.
But let him stay hot. Let's just move him off the field because I've got Francisco Lindor playing that game. He's the reason I have 11 points already. So hopefully he'll also play in the second game.
Nice.
But I only have 3 players up playing today because everybody's traveling and Denise has
there's only
basically a whole lineup.
Yeah, I need to look at my lineup because I was neglectful this weekend, to say the least. I spent hardly any time on my phone, even, which I guess isn't really a bad thing. But
that's good.
But yeah, I got a couple guys on the bench I can put in. I got to make some pitching changes. But anyways, baseball family, don't forget to check out Chinook Seeds. We are a partner with Chinook Seed, with Chinook Seedery. Head over to chinookseedery.com and use code BTPOD at checkout to get 10% off your order to support your mouth. In the meantime, you'll also support the show because that's another piece of the pie that we get. And if you need somewhere to put your seeds, head over to seedsack.com. Seed-sack.com. Got mine right here. Put my seeds in there. It's a perfect holder. If you get those little pouches from Chinook, one of those fits in the seed sack, and it's outstanding. It is absolutely perfect. Brig, why don't you tell them about where they can find us and subscribe and stuff?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast wherever you're able to. Apple Podcasts is the best way to throw a rating in the podcast sphere if you're audio only, but the best place to find us truly is on YouTube. We publish every day. We've got the big show, the full episode is out on YouTube, and then we break things up into highlight clips for those of you that need to consume things in bite-sized while you're getting your kids ready for school or you're on a commute or whatever it is. And then we're also on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and the TikTok. So you can consume our content there as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe in those categories and share us with your friends because we want to always grow our baseball family and bring more people in. Those are great ways to support us. And if you're looking for one more and you want to spend $500 a month, you can on Patreon.
But if you don't want to spend $500 a month, you don't have to.
You can spend $1 a month or whatever. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways on Patreon to support us, and you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But we do love you. We are grateful for you, and we would not and could not be doing this without you. So thanks for all your support, however you offer it, even if it's just a like and a share. We'll take it.
Absolutely. Baseball family, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you next week.